Now, odds are my friend here was long gone before we started to really recognize the true impact of climate change. But the truth is, the effects of climate change are limiting the amount of water that we have to run through the dams and create power. But the good news is, BPA and others around the region have come up with some very good conservation and energy efficiency measures to offset the impact of climate change. You don't know the energy phantom, do you? Don't worry about that for now, we'll get to that. So I'm joined now by my colleague Carrie Nelson from BPA Energy Efficiency, who's going to tell us a little bit more about energy efficiency and why it's so important. Carrie, I guess we should start with you telling us what exactly energy efficiency is.
Energy efficiency is defined as using less energy while getting the same amount of service from your equipment and appliances. You can be energy efficient by using energy efficient bulbs like CFLs, energy efficient appliances, but you can also be energy efficient by using less energy through your behavior. So if you unplug your computer when it's not in use or home electronics, that's also being energy efficient.
Can you tell us a little bit how energy efficiency fits in with climate change and energy trends?
Energy efficiency is a clean energy resource. So every time you are saving energy but not using it, it can go somewhere else. So energy efficiency done on a large scale is essentially like adding a power resource.
And what are some of the things that BPA is doing to promote energy efficiency and get folks to use less to achieve more?
BPA, through local utilities, supports both consumer programs and industry programs. An example of this are vending machines. Vending machines, when they're not in use, can go to a low power state when they're energy efficient. So that's not wasting energy when you don't need it. Another example is that we support smart grid technologies. And smart grid technologies do many things. One of them is that they allow integration of other power sources, such as wind and solar. This also supports home metering, which helps households be more energy efficient. And through all of these savings, we managed to save enough energy to power a city the size of Seattle. And that also is equivalent to preventing the emissions of over 3.5 million tons of CO2 emissions. And that is the same amount of emissions that, for example, burning over 3.5 billion gallons of gasoline causes.
Are there some simple things that people can do to save more energy in their houses?
Yes, there are. And most of them, once you put them in your house, you don't have to think about it after you put them there. The first example I have is a kilowatt, which basically you plug into a socket in your house, and then you take an appliance, or this is a cell phone charger, and you plug it into the kilowatt, and the screen will let you know how much energy that's using. So you can go through your whole house and really find out what is sucking the most energy out of your home. And that also relates to this. This is a smart strip, which looks just like a power strip, except the difference is half of it is called controlled and half is called uncontrolled. This half you can control, and this sensor will turn off that part of it when you leave the room. So any of your electronics that would normally just stay on, which is a lot of energy consumption, will turn off when no one's in the room, and you don't have to think about it, you don't have to adjust your behavior. Another great way to be energy efficient is to reduce your phantom load. Phantom plug load is when your home electronics are plugged in, but the power is off, you're not using it anymore, or they're fully charged, and they remain plugged in so they're still consuming energy. So when your iPod or your phone is fully charged, what you want to do is you want to unplug it also. It is estimated that 75% of the energy used by home electronics is used when they are turned off, but they're still plugged in. So that is a waste of energy, and it's very easy to change. So a cell phone is just an example of something you want. After you're done charging it, take the charger out. Don't leave it in the socket.
So the plug doesn't know that once it's
unless you have
full
a
to
smart
stop
strip.
sending it energy?
Yes, exactly. And then CFLs are huge savings. They use about 80% less energy than incandescent lights. And there's much more variety of CFLs than there used to be. So this is an outdoor CFL light.
Okay.
This is a globe CFL. And then these are the original twisters. Energy efficiency, if done in a large scale, can accomplish a lot of savings. For example, if every household in the United States, over 100 million homes, were to just put one of these CFLs in their house, that would equal the savings that would be enough to provide energy for 1.3 million households.
Now, What's this? This looks pretty space age. Is this a fairly simple thing to use?
This is very simple. Again, once you put it in, you don't really know you're using it. This is a low flow shower head. So you're using less water, but you don't have to take a shorter shower necessarily. You just are using less energy.
Again, and that's important because the water behind the dams is a source of energy. The more we save, the more we conserve. Carrie, thanks again for showing us all these great energy-saving tips that we can use at home to be more energy efficient, but also describing what BPA and other folks throughout the region are doing to make the region more energy efficient. And for you, the viewer, I hope that what we've done has motivated you to take some of these tips and start saving energy in your homes and help us to achieve some energy efficiency. I also hope that you understand how big a role energy efficiency plays in increasing the value of the river and helps us bring power to the Northwest.